I saw something shiny, and that was the end of that, unfortunately.
Funny that.
But we now have Tim Betts should be one of the first out. I don't think it will be. I can see the fire in the belly there of the Rick Flowerday machine, the Joker ZB Homes Bay of Plenty Limited.
I'll tell you one thing I noticed earlier this morning when they were warming up. You know, they get on the boat, they're warming up, and the old the front vehicles, you know, urging for, it doesn't take much, mate. If one of those brakes fail, one of those wagons is going to be through that fence, I'll tell you.
Yeah, they certainly got a lot of power, these vessels. You know, when you're talking in the unlimited category, 1,500 plus horsepower, in this Group A category, they can be up to about 750 horsepower. Now, a lot of the production cars, you know, they talk about the Mustangs, and nowhere near these brake horsepower that these boats have. So certainly plenty of power. And the way that the jet unit is designed and the way it works, you adjust the nozzle. So if you put a smaller nozzle on it, you'll get more punch out of the corners. A bigger nozzle on it, you'll get a greater high-end speed. Trying to find that balance in there. So this is Daniel Thornton. Not Rick Fowler, Daniel Thornton, the crane operator from Ctas, I do believe. So AJ doing the navigation. Oh, geez, I tell ya, he nearly had a bit of a look down that left channel there. That part of the track, they come through there twice. One time they come straight down, another time they go left. We've seen a few people have a look at that left turn. Wow. Daniel Thornton was close.
Yes, he sure was, but I tell you what though, he's not doing too bad. We were informed in the lunch break that he only got in a boat a few weeks ago at Mary to have a go, and you wouldn't believe it, folks, this is his second time on the water, and isn't he doing a fantastic job, KV?
Yeah, certainly is. So we will certainly keep a close eye on him there. Wow, he's very tight in there. So certainly gaining in confidence and potentially stature. So he's gone the wrong way. He needed to go one channel further down. He's realised it. Comes back now on the course proper, and into that channel he goes. But he's just taken another wrong way. And so now he needs to go back up and around. And I think he's just decided, you know what, that is just too hard hill to climb from there. We're going to back to the trailer and work it out from there.
That was a split whisker there, mate. He did the same thing when he came out of the chute here. Like you mentioned, he nearly went left. All he had to do was go right.
Yep.
You know, and oh my goodness me.
Such an easy thing to say from here and say, well, that's all he should have done. But when you're a rookie, that's your third time, fourth time, fifth time around a racetrack. Very difficult to work out 3 feet above the water. But we're now going to Tim Betts.
These guys have been trucking all right too today. Just taking it cautiously. Of course, they want to post a good time to get in the top qualifier. But it looks like they're taking a pretty cautious approach here, as I say. So just finding their feet there, getting the run of the course. And who knows, better safe than sorry.
Yeah, Betsy and Jojo just haven't really had a great day of it at the moment. Haven't been able to get the speed out of the boat that they would have expected due to those navigational errors. And look, that is pretty easy to do. So you can see Jojo there, very, very clear, very animated with a hand right in front of Tim Betts' face, saying, right, this is where you need to be going. So they really have got the system working at the moment. It is just the grey matter between the driver's ears that is all important at this point.
Now you can certainly see, touching on the animation, she's waving away out there now. We noticed that some of them wear a different colour glove as well, so it's easy to pick up. We've seen a couple of pink gloves out there and some fluoro yellow ones. These ones opting for just the black one. But that's a good time, a 105.025 to come through. But you're very animated through there. And of course, it's a bit like a traffic cop directing traffic. But of course, you're sitting in a boat that's absolutely flying around an aqua track.
Yes, look, I think that that is a good time for these guys. Obviously, well off the time that the top guys are doing, but there's a lot more confidence in that run, a lot more stability, and the rotation was correct. So that is wonderful. So we now have our next driver out. This will be Rick Flowerday and Jazz Flowerday from Pukahina.
Well done, KV.
The managing director of ZB Homes Bay of Plenty.
Now, you touched on before, you mentioned Mustang. That's very unlike you to quote a Ford vehicle, mate, being a whole lover.
I was only quoting it because they're not good.
Oh, okay. Sorry, who won Bathurst, mate? Yes, anyway, back to the water.
Yeah,
As they go around
the V8 super taxis.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, you're not.
All right.
No one's really that interested in
Fair
taxis, mate. You know, when you got jet sprinting in comparison to Bathurst, mate, you're talking jet sprinting by far and above, as we see
Back to the
Rick
track
Lauderdale.
anyway.
Yeah,
He's going the wrong way.
Yeah, he's going the wrong way.
Back on track now.
Like, you know, V8 super taxis, all you got to do is just follow the road. How hard's that?
Oh, mate,
That's not hard.
it's a bit more than that.
No, it isn't.
It's
You
a bit
follow the
more than
road
that.
in front of you. It goes around in circles. You don't have to try and work it out as you're going around like the jet sprinters.
Depends, mate. These guys are not getting orders from the race crew to slow up the lap, though, are they? I mean, they just hammer down. They don't want to go slow, these fellas.
So Rick Flauday, unfortunately, all over the shop at the moment. I don't think Jazz is going to get him back on the line from here, but he has. Wow, that's exceptional. I was that discombobulated. I was thinking about taking a seat.
Mate, you were, and that's the third time today you've done that. You've given them the curse, and they've actually done it, mate. I love these people putting you wrong.
Ah, well, it's not hard, is it?
No, we've proved that 3 times today.
But who's counting?
Me. Still pretty smooth as they slide past the commentary box, down the Conrod Straight, as we like to refer to it on the track, past the corporates, back through the middle of the course. Yeah, unfortunately,
No, wrong way.
wrong way. They just needed one more, as we see that again from the very next entrant. Oh, they've got to come back and correct. Come straight down there. Don't go around. Now they're okay. Back they come. They've re-entered at the same spot they erred, and under through the finish line. We time of 1:45.728. Disappointing. Not as you don't want to be there, KV, this late in the day.
No, but well, look, you know the rookies, so they've completed the course. So hopefully they'll have posted a time to see them into the top 9. And due to the attrition rate today, they may well just do that by just sheer weight of numbers. And either way, it doesn't matter how you get into the finals, so long as you get there.
Yeah, exactly right. But of course, if they want to get on the podium, they're going to have to do way better than that.
So our next boat will be Bevan Edwards with Claudia Edwards in the Lucas Oil Group A machine, PGG Wrightsons and Westview Aluminium, the sponsors on board the Inheritance machine out of Carterton. So Bevan Edwards, the rural sales consultant and agent, and Claudia Edwards, the farmhand. So Westview Aluminium.
Oh, listen
Another
to the sound
rookie,
of that.
and wow.
Listen to the sound of that.
Yeah, certainly exciting when you see rookies going out with such pace, such confidence to what the future may well hold for them. And Bevan Edwards, of course, son of Morris Edwards, one of the men intrinsic in the development and the building of this Taranaki aqua track. So Bevan Edwards certainly been around jet sprinting for a number of years, 27.173 on the split.
Mate, these guys are looking pretty sharp. You'd think, being from a local peer, that they would know this track pretty well. They've probably driven it a few times. Look at that, they fly down past the corporates as they head up to the top of the track. They're looking pretty, the boat's looking shiny, and as they're going to come round, they've taken the right turn. Fantastic, we're back on track. Great time of 54.076.
Yeah, as they were going up the corporate side there, they ran a little bit wide. You saw the colour of the water change a little bit, grabbed a little bit of dirt, and it's only a couple more inches to the left, and that could have been fairly ugly. Very fortuitous indeed, but again, posting a very good time, so we will see them progress into that top 9. As we start loading some of the boats for our Group A, for the... Well, sorry, I'm just looking at our big screen there as I was just watching Clayton and Mandy Tisdale come off. There's something shiny, something distracted me. So these guys are very interesting to watch. They've been running fairly flat out consistently in the top sort of 4 or 5 in this Group A so far today. Really driving some very, very brave lines. So we'll keep a very close eye on this one.
Yes, they certainly have been driving some brave lines. And as you mentioned there before, cave you back. Oh, wrong way. No.
Yeah, have a look. You can see Clayton Tisdall absolutely frustrated in there, and he's swinging on the wheel there.
Steering's
So
gone.
I wouldn't be surprised if there is potentially some weed in there, and obviously a steering issue, because he's got right out of that, really swinging on the wheel. Mandy Tisdall's got her arms up, looking like Humphrey B. Bear, going, what happened there? And yeah, not a lot of confidence. The body language in the Case construction vessel from the coupling from Tapanui on the South Island, certainly not positive at all. And look at the response there. As Clayton is turning that left, there's obviously a steerage issue there. So we'll see if we can get someone down there to find out a little bit of information.
Yeah, he's taken a while to get back to the trailer there, Kay. We just can't get it round. Now, that's more of a safety thing. If that steering broke halfway through the course there, mate, there's no way he was going to take that turn. Just button straight off, and let's get back to the trailer in a hurry.
Yeah, so Matt Wills, the crew chief down there, just guiding that boat back up onto the trailer. Those guys will have some serious work to do to see what went wrong there. And as we've got the close-up with the big screen, Mandy just checking her hair there at the moment.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Okay, so steering gone is confirmed. So so that is a DNF there for Clayton and Mandy Tisdall. We now go to Tony Reid, the man from Waitra, Andrew Bakey, doing the navigational duties in still at Boat 303, Drillco, Reid Engineering Limited, Shifty Sports Bar and TAB, Waitra, Super Liquor, Petersol Transport, Egmont Industrial Supplies, and wow, Tony Reid out of the blocks a lot quicker than we've seen him go so far today.
Take a look at the concentration on his face, folks. You can see with the open visor, you can actually see the aggression on his face as he comes through, picking up the signals from his navvy as he comes through the middle of the course. Just check that out. That amazes me with that open visor. No sunglasses, no nothing. He is just out and out, sheer determination to get round this course in the best time.
Yeah, really a couple of interesting lines here that Tony's taking, and really just getting out and amongst it a lot early. Realises now that this qualifying round number 5, you really need to start posting a good time. You should be very aware of where you are on the track. The setup should be right. So into the right-hander, up the front chute, just mash the pedal into the metal, get a maximum speed around the big sweeper to the top. Into the final left-handers, the couple of left-handers across the line there. Tony Reid, 57.850, and into P2. So he'll be pretty happy with that, although we do have some big name drivers still to come, like Sean Rice, Cy Gibbon, Neil Marshall, Ollie Silverton, and Harry Whelan. So Tony and Bakey will be reasonably happy with that as we now go Elite Kitchens Racing, Sean and Faye Rice.
Yeah, these guys will be out to make amends too, KV. The up and down day for these guys, so they'll want to get certainly get into that top 3 to give them some confidence going into the cutthroat part of the day.
Yeah, interestingly, Sean sort of parked his boat up on the dirt early part of the day. Hopefully he's put that behind him. But the man behind the name, that is Elite Kitchens, Dream It, Live It, behind the wheel of the Sprint Tech Monster Energy machine. And wow, have a look at the way this is going at the moment.
Yeah, they're doing fantastic. Of course, he picked up a couple of awards, some business awards off the water. So let's see what we can do. That's a fantastic split time of 26.546 as he goes back through the middle of the course. These guys have got the hammer down. They have a point to prove and put their fans back on track as they pick up a little bit of mud as they come around that corner. Lovely.
He's
gone the wrong way. He's
just
gone the wrong way.
realised it. So he needs to come in sharp right here and then continue that right. He's now back on the course proper. Didn't do the chicane. He went the exit road, but all that's done, he's just thrown a lot more time onto this lap. He'll be pretty disappointed with that, but he will have posted a time earlier in the day to see him get into that top 9. So Sean and Faye Rice there, well out of it, 102 or something along those lines. So not a good end to that run. Looking very positive. The boat looking like it's handling very well though.
Yeah, sure is. And another fantastic machine, nicely kept, polished. polished. The crew doing a lot of hard work off the water. Not that I'm saying that all the crews don't do hard work off the water, but these guys, there's some that have great attention to detail. And speaking of attention to detail, what an intro to the Show Us Your Crack boat.
Oh, Novus Auto Glass, Cy Gibbon. I'll tell you what, you can almost see your reflection in the engine bolts.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to have a catch up with Cy last night, and he was pretty confident coming into this weekend, really looking forward to this season. And who knows what could happen out on the water, KV, but as always, they will give it some go forward and keep the hammer down.
Yeah, last time out, they parked it up on the dirt, and that was just a mistake from Cy Gibbon. One of those drivers that if he does make a mistake, he doesn't put the blame elsewhere. He just says, you know what, I'll wear that. That was mine. And certainly that's exactly what he did last time out, taking some safer lines in the centre part of the course this time out. Certainly maintaining the speed.
That's the best split time, KV, 24.737. They've posted the best of the field so far. As they come round to bring it home, don't take the wrong turn. They haven't done that. And through the line they go with a 50.49, and that'll slot them into the top.
Absolute cracker of a run.
Yeah, it sure is, mate. They will be stoked with that. What a great run. She's got her hands up, has Donna. She knows it was a good one.
No, I thought it was good to see over there.
She doesn't go.
No, that was well done there. They'll be happy with that run. As I say, slots into to P1. Great display of everything going right for them that time, so great work for them. And out on the water now, we've got Harry Whelans and Jason Conroy in boat number 158. These guys have been having a pretty good day. A boat name, Usain boat. Through the middle of the course. Yeah, swing it hard. Lost a bit of boat speed there as they dropped off the pedal a wee bit. But they head down the back. Come back through. We'll get you a nice split time. They swore a bit wide into the start-finish line as they come round. A split time of 26.910. These guys are going to have to put some pedal to the metal to keep up now. They want to do the sponsors proud. They come round past the commentary box. Ginza Bargains, Go Furniture, Scott Jet, Curran Brothers Racing, all backing this boat as they come around the top of the course now. Down through the middle, they take the right turn, past the start-finish line. A great time of 54.022 to slot into P2. What a great run. Give them a round of applause, folks, as they head back in. That was a fantastic run. If they hadn't have dropped a little bit of boat speed, they could have been challenging for that P1 spot. But there you go. Oh, what a great day. That's absolutely fantastic as they head back to the boat ramp now. Gotta love that rumble. Oh. Here comes Tim and Debbie Edehouse now as they come through. No, it's not. It's Neil Marshall. I was misinformed there. These guys, they let me down. I couldn't find the page in my book. Neil Marshall, he's flying in the Stinger boat. With Haley running in the passenger seat. Oh, gives it a bit of fat as he comes through there. That could be costly, KV.
Yeah, really. I have seen Neil Marshall drive smoother, but all things considered, we're seeing some pretty good stuff out on the water here from this Stinger Group A machine. The man from New Plymouth, certainly now getting a lot of experience under the belt, being on the scene for a number of years. That ladder split does put him within earshot, although he's a couple of seconds down on where Cy Gibbon is, but certainly Neil Marshall a little bit knife into that, squared that one up a little bit. Neil Marshall, Haley Brunning 53.267 into P2. So, wow, that is an interesting run because he was certainly wasn't 100% smooth, but still finds himself into P2. Harry Whelan's into P3 in the MF King machine, really taking some big steps towards that podium.
Yeah, he sure is, mate. He's had a great run there, and he'll be really happy with that. In fact, all those, there were some good drives in there and some not so good drives, mates, but they've got to give them good confidence going into the podium rounds.
So Ollie Silverton and Jess Sitt. Ollie Silverton, the drainage systems manager out of Hamilton. Jess Sitt, the marketing manager of PSP Building Brands. Wow, Ollie Silverton out very, very quickly indeed. The split that Cy Gibbon did on the first split was a 24.7. 24.7. Let's keep an eye on where Ollie Silverton is here, because they're the two at the top of the game. Went too deep there, did Ollie Silverton. Lost a lot of time.
Yeah, unfortunately there, like you say, KV, a wee bit too deep as he comes around past the commentary box now. A split time of 25.124.
So 0.4 slower than where Cy Gibbon was, and it was that turn deep into that right-hander that cost him that time. He'll be playing catch-up now. Ollie Silverton, the reigning New Zealand champion, reigning world champion, does not like to be in the position he finds himself in. Will be chasing this one home. Needs to make up 0.4 in the latter part of the lap, and it is a 51.077. Cy Gibbon still P1, qualifying round number 5. So Cy Gibbon got it all over, the reigning New Zealand world champion at this point in the Novus Show Us Your Crack Auto Glass.
Yeah, but if we go down to the pits now, there's going to be some bragging rights because they're still racing each other, eh? It's
Well,
like when we
right.
beat the Aussies, KV, you know? It doesn't matter, mate. That's still Australia, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, no comeback. Hey, good to see you got rid of Michael Checker, though, mate. How much did that cost you?
Well, it didn't cost me anything, but I think